Welcome to the Sean Douglas Show. This is where we talk about life as a creative, an outlier, and someone who doesn't quite fit the mold. If you're struggling with finding balance, if you feel like a freak, if you're trying to find your place in this world, then this podcast is for you. And hey, you also catch some random, just for fun stuff along the way, because life's too short to be all serious. Today I want to talk about relaxing. Yeah. Because I'm an expert on that. I'm sure you can tell that I'm completely sarcastic right now. This is something that I have struggled with my entire life, and I'm struggling with now. But I'm trying to go from fighting it to actually embracing it. So the thing about rest that I've been learning is it is about practice. It is about letting yourself be poor at it at first. I'm not great at resting. If you get these high expectations of, I'm going to rest and everything's going to feel great and I'm going to be wonderful and everything's going to be great all over again, I'm going to be the best rester on earth. It's the wrong attitude. It's the wrong attitude. It's not going to help you. You're not going to be able to do that. You're going to end up being way less rested, and it's going to leave you frustrated. You have to have reasonable expectations. You have to know that, hey, if I stayed up for 30 hours and I'm trying to sleep now, my sleep might be pretty disrupted. It might be pretty messed up, and instead of like sleeping like a rock for maybe 8 to 12 hours or something, and then I'm going to wake up feeling rejuvenated, I might have a really rough night. It might be really bumpy for me. And that's just, that it happens. It's like your body got out of practice of being asleep since you stayed up for 30 hours. Likewise, if you've had a lot of disrupted sleep, even if whatever the causes of those disruptions are gone, it's like you've gotten a habit of not sleeping very well. So it's going to take practice, and it's going to take work of being in the right kind of situation where you can continue to put yourself at ease, and you'll get better at sleeping again. But it's not going to be instant. It's going to be a process. So rest is definitely a process, and that's something I don't think I really fully realized. I think I just figured you should just be able to do it, like on a drop of the hat, like, okay, I'm ready to rest now. It's something that requires this gradual uncoiling of tension, and also a lot of strategizing. Like, you have to be able to make a decision about when it is okay to stop. How far is enough? And sometimes that means having to change your projections, having to change whatever your targets were. When you said, when I get this far, I do this much, then I'll be happy. The thing is, it's probably not going to always work out like that, most of the time. I'm just saying, because a lot of times we think that we see the clear path from beginning to end and how long things should take, but there's a lot of things on the in-between that we're not considering. There's things that also arise. There's added complications. There's additional challenges that come in and become a part of everything. So we can't just dictate reality that this is the point I'm going to go to and then I will stop. We have to sometimes have some flexibility for the process and be able to understand what's a good intermediate goal to shoot for in between. What's a good stopping point between where we are now and the thing that we were ultimately thinking we could accomplish within this time frame? That's been my challenge, is to accept my own limitations of what I can do and deal with the reality of what I can't, and in the moment as things are happening. And that's bitten me so many times. So many times I've been in the middle of something and just let me get this bit further. If I could just do this much, then I will be happy. Then everything will be fine. Then I'll be glad and I'll be able to set this down, set this aside. The reality is sometimes that thing never happens, or I've won the battle and I lost the war. I stayed up 4 hours later than I needed to that night, and I could have just put it down at a reasonable time, gotten up the next day and I've been fresher, and maybe I would have got it done and I wouldn't have run into the same mistakes and accidents I was running into because I was just pushing so hard. And that's the thing about rest, is it's getting that kind of intelligence where you can recognize your limitations. You can recognize the things that are going on that are tells that are letting you know, hey man, you're just tired. Like, this isn't something personal that you need to take. This isn't an affront to your intelligence, or this doesn't mean that you're less than or anything like that. This is just simply a little wall that you're bumping up into that's saying, okay, it's time to stop. It's time to quit and replenish yourself. Get what you need to be able to feel better and be filled back up, so then you can go back to it again when you're ready. So I've been trying to learn how to rest because I want to be more productive. I want to accomplish more. I want more things to be done that I envision, that I have as goals for myself. And I've realized that if you don't rest and if you don't learn to structure your life with the right rhythm of rest and put it in those right beats and time, then what's going to end up happening is you're going to burn out. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to do things that don't turn out well. You're going to get discouraged. You might lose your entire train of thought and your entire vision of why you even wanted to do this in the first place. So rest is a preservative from that, prevents that from happening. You have to rest. You have to take that time off and disconnect from things and let it go for a while so that you can come back fresh. So the next thing is, aside from that though, the value that is of rest itself, that it is actually a good and enjoyable thing, that is a wholesome thing to do. And that's one that I think I'm having maybe the hardest time getting to, is realizing that there is something good, something virtuous about rest in itself. Now, like work, it can be out of balance. You can have too much rest. You could be resting all the time, and that's not going to be restful. That's going to end up making you restless. That's going to end up making you feel all this pent up need to do something that's worthwhile and purposeful, but you're so trapped in that mode of just being there passive that you don't know what to do, and that's going to result in unhappiness. It's not actually going to end up being restful in the end. So our attitude and how we approach things changes whether or not the rest is high quality, whether it's not any good for us. But while things can get out of balance, the reality is rest is a good thing in itself. It's something that we need. It's something that's actually enjoyable. It's something that actually adds to life in a positive way. It's not just a forced break from what you would rather be doing. And I think that's the thing that I have always taken it as, something that's being forced upon me that I wish I didn't have to do. And now what I'm starting to accept, what I'm starting to embrace, is that it's not a forced stop. It's not something negative. It's actually something good. It's actually something wholesome. It's something to put on a valuable place in and of itself. And so our culture, we talk a lot about work ethic in America, work ethic in the West. And it's an important thing to have a good work ethic. It's an important thing to desire to accomplish things in the world, to desire to make things around you better. It's a very good thing to take that and put that as a value that we put ourselves behind, that we're going to improve our world, we're going to make forward progress, we're going to do things that are building and creating value for ourselves and others. Positive thing all the way. But if you don't have a rest ethic, then you're going to have burnout. You're going to have restlessness. You're going to have a life where you're living like a tormented person. You're going constantly after more success. You're going constantly after more of these metrics and goals and things that you're trying to meet. And you're never going to live in the moment. You're never going to smell the roses. You're never going to enjoy the beauty of the life that you have. You're going to just be running until it's all over. And then what was it for? You're going to regret that you didn't spend time paying attention to the world around you. You're going to wish that you for a moment could just extend things a little bit longer to enjoy the things that you didn't let yourself enjoy because you were too stuck in that driven mode. You were too stuck in always having to go forward, always having to make progress. So that's not worth it. That's not the kind of life, let's say we're talking about a millionaire or a billionaire. If they're on their deathbed, will the thing that they regret be that next $1 billion that they could have made, or that next $1 million that they could have made? No. That's not going to make a difference in their life. That's not going to be the thing that they wish that they did. It's always about the quality of the life that they wish they had. It's always about the things that they wish they got to experience with family, with friends, with someone that they love, something that they could do themselves. That's what they really wanted, and that's what they missed out on by being so stuck in that constant driven mode. So work ethic becomes a bad thing when it's out of balance and when you don't have a good rest ethic. So I want to leave you with this question. What are you doing about your rest ethic? Are you taking the time that you need to just enjoy life? Are you learning to relax and let things go? Are you learning to see the value in just being and just allowing things to be around you and observing it, feeling it, engaging with it? Are you learning what rest really means for you, what it really looks like for you? I'm working on it myself, and I definitely admit I'm not all the way there. And you know what? Life's a journey. That's fine. I'm probably pretty far behind in a lot of ways, and I'm okay with that. The way I'm looking at it is it's an adventure. I'm going to learn to rest better. I'm going to learn to enjoy rest, and I'm going to become the best rester there ever was. No, I'm totally joking. I'm going to learn to be at peace with the progress that I'm making and with where I'm at in life. Stopping and smelling the roses, enjoying things along the way, and balancing that with my good work ethic, balancing that with applying myself in everything that I do and taking pride in my work and the things that I engage with and I'm a part of. And that's something I'm going to continue after, and I hope that you'll join me and that you'll join me next time on the next episode of The Sean Douglas Show.